Hello, hello. Good morning, morning. I hope everyone is doing. Once again, it's me, Salem, back with Brunch and Build. We are straight goofing back into the goof zone. Sorry, I was a few minutes late. Because, one, I had to fix something on my camera. Two, I went to the local bakery, get myself a little treat for the morning, just for fun. And I got a little quiche, a breakfast quiche. And you can ask them to heat it up for you, and so I did. Then they burnt my quiche. Luckily, they're nice. They gave me another one. Um, they gave me another one, but I had to wait for them to toast a whole other quiche. I was like, ugh, my quickie, my quickie. And also, I had to go back because I had stream soon. I again, if they had not burnt my quiche, I would have been back on time because I did have to fix something with my camera because Pixar didn't happen. Oh my god, I didn't photograph my burnt quiche. I unfortunately did not photograph my burnt quiche. But they're like, yeah, I'm sorry, we'll get you another one. And I'm like, okay. I mean, at least they gave me another one, and I didn't just have to go home and eat this burnt quiche. But, it did run me like an extra 5 minutes. And I was like, ooh, I'm already cutting it a little close. Because this bakery is very close by. It's literally like 3 minutes away. And so I'm like, my plan, pop in and out, just go, grab my breakfast, and come home, eat it, and then get streaming. Was kind of my plan, which still did happen. You know, I'm here, but I had to spend an extra 5 minutes of them toasting a whole other quiche for me. But it's okay. Reason why I had to fix stuff on my camera though was kind of fun. It's been so nice this week. The weather has been beautiful, perfect, amazing. All I can ever ask for. I am a little bit like a cat in the sense that if it's nice out and it's sunny, I have to be outside. Like if it's nice out and I see the window and I see the blue sky and the sun and it's like this perfect temperature out, I'm like, I need to be outside. The problem though is that the outside doesn't want me to be there. The outside doesn't want me to be there because I have awful pollen allergies. Like, it's so bad. I am straight dying all the time. The only thing that really works on me, I gotta take Benny's, you know? Good old Big B, the Benadryl. Basically not every night, but like, cause obviously I don't want to take too much, but like, I have to take Benadryl because that's kind of the only thing that works on my allergies. Nothing else is strong enough. Because my pollen allergies are that bad. Like, I cannot walk outside for more than 10 minutes without getting a sinus headache. But I do it anyway. Yet I keep doing it. I just keep going because I love being outside. And so the other day, I was outside. No. Yeah, amazing explanation. But my friend and I went to a local state park, and we brought our cameras and we were photographing to just some like funky photography stuff, hanging out because it's a really beautiful state park. It's really nice, and just wanted to do some photography. It was. I was debating whether or not to take this camera, my digital, or my film camera, but I don't know, I ended up just because I also wanted to film stuff. I ended up deciding on this camera, which means I had to set it back up this morning, which usually doesn't take too long, but I did have to like reconfigure a bunch of stuff because again, I had all of my like video settings set up so that my photo settings set up so that I'm like photographing outdoor scenery versus me inside of my home. Me inside of my home with my little plastic model kits. So that took like a minute. That's why I took like an extra couple minutes because I was doing that. But we're okay now. Film camera? Yeah. Oh, I love my film camera. I really should use it more often. I think the only reason why I don't is because film is insanely expensive. And I feel like I have to savor it. Like she's only for special occasions. But I might bring her out today. I'm not too sure. I might bring her out today because it's really nice out and I'm a cheapskate and I bought the really cheap film, which is mostly only good for like high exposure settings, so like basically outdoors. I cannot shoot with this film indoors because it will be too dark. I can really only shoot with this film outside when it's sunny. And today's kind of a good day for that because it's beautiful and sunny out, and so I will be going outside. Like, it's so bad. Originally, I wasn't going to go outside because I'm like, I'm literally dying. Like, as soon as I step outside, I start dying. But the outside, it calls to me. The outside calls to me, so I go anyway. I just keep some Benadryl in my back pocket, basically, just in case I need it. And I survive. I try my best out there in the great outdoors. Where's my other F runner? Where is my other F runner, actually? Kinda need it right now. That's... Oh! Back there. Okay, yeah, it fell back there. We're good though. We're good though. But, I will once again be going outside today. I have no idea where I'll be going, because I'm like, I just need to be outside. I just have to be out there. Legally, I just want to be out there. Send me into the outdoors, please. I have to check. Let me check what the... It's gonna be nice all... up. Where is other application? Okay, well, it might get cloudy later. I'm gonna be so sad if it's like cloudy later. Ooh. It's okay though. We'll live. We'll live. Trying to convince my parents to buy her a mirrorless camera as a graduation present. Honestly, valid. I bought. She's got a whole presentation and everything. That's so cute. I remember doing that when I was like in middle school, high school, making a whole presentation and doing a ton of research so that I can like get something that I want. I think I did that when I wanted a Nintendo DS. I think I did that. I like had a whole pitch. I've had to like pitch it to my mom because I wanted a Nintendo DS so bad when they were like a thing. It's like I wanted a Nintendo DS because at that point I'd mostly used like my cousins like Game Boy. I was mostly used to using like my older cousins like hand me down Game Boys and stuff, and I was like, I want a Nintendo DS. And I did get one because my mom was like, okay, fine, if you get good grades, we'll get you a Nintendo DS. And I did, and I still have that Nintendo DS to this day. I love my Nintendo DS. I do still like play stuff on it from time to time. Man, because I'm a fan of physical media, and I'm trying to collect physical DS games and whatnot for my DS and my 3DS. But the problem with that is that the physical games market, if any of you are even remotely aware of how the DS game market is, you will know that it's hell. It's awful. It's terrible. Everything is so expensive because a lot of these games are out of print, but at the same time, Nintendo is like, don't pirate them. Because I know I could emulate them, okay? I know. Everyone has freaking told me, like, oh, why don't you just emulate it? And I'm like, I have. But I want it physically. I want it physically. Just because I like collecting things physically. Okay? Let me have this. Except I do not want to pay $80 for Miles Edgeworth Investigations 2. I really don't. But otherwise, we're living. We're living. But that's my current plight with me and my allergies. I don't know if you guys can really hear it too well. Even from the brief time I was outside earlier to get my breakfast, my nose is already stuffy, and I feel like I don't feel like dying, but my nose is already stuffed, and I just like this is just the state I've been living in all week. It's horrible. It's awful. It's terrible. I hate being live. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that. Which is not true. It's hyperbole. Hyperbole. But I do hate the trees for producing pollen, even though I know it's very important to our ecosystem. Okay. Thanks for checking in, though. Thanks for hopping in, hanging out. Come back. This is supposed to go this way. Yeah. This way. So I'm like, oh, I just remembered. People might be wondering where the hell I was last week. Because I didn't stream last week, and it was very last minute. I was very much planning to stream last week, but I was trapped in New Jersey. I was trapped in New Jersey because I was tapped kind of last minute. Not last minute, but like I was tapped. I think I mentioned it before. I do enjoy working conventions like for fun, and I've worked a few of them. I've had a lot of fun, and I like doing that. And so I was asked to help out at a convention in New Jersey recently, and it was very fun. But alas, I was originally supposed to like go home and come back like Saturday afternoon. But then I didn't. They needed me Saturday morning too, and I was stuck in New Jersey and I couldn't go back because I ended up staying at my friend's house that lives in New Jersey. And yeah. So I'm sorry. I was trapped in New Jersey. They got me. The Jerseyans. But that is why I disappeared. But I did have fun though. At least I did have fun at the convention. Why is it not going? Oh, there we go. At least I did have fun at the convention. It was a really small convention. I believe it was Castle Point Anime Convention. Something about small cons like that really like, because lately I've really only been working like bigger conventions like Anime NYC, Anime Boston, or just like ones with like an older, or like FurPoc, which is more of like an adult, like, not that FurPoc is an adult convention, like that's kind of a weird way to put it, but a lot, like more of the attendee, the average age tends to skew a bit older, and so especially like some of these bigger cons like Anime NYC, Anime Boston, where the entry ticket prices are like $70, which I feel like just tends to make the average attendance age like a little bit older. If not, it's like families. Because I feel like the average person at like an Anime NYC tends to be people in like their 20s, or it's like older people bringing their families. So it's like that, like little kids and stuff like that, but it still just tends to skew a bit older, just because the entrance price is high, which is not something most teenagers can afford by themselves. Not to say there aren't any, but anyway, going to a smaller convention like CPAC, which is so crazy because in my brain now I forget that CPAC is like a real thing. Because I know CPAC is like an actual like conservative conference, but in my mind CPAC is an anime convention. Because it is, it's Castle Point Anime Convention. So yeah, I'm going to be calling it CPAC, but I just need to specify I do not mean the conservative, I forgot what it stands for, it's like conservative something action conference, I think. It's not that. I was going to an anime convention. I was at an anime convention. But yeah, it was kind of fun going to CPAC because it's like a small local convention run by like a college, that like run by like a local college, which just like was was very nostalgic for me because my first conventions were like ones run by local conventions. Like my very first convention was UConn, and Kineticon. Those were my like very first conventions I ever went to when I was a high schooler because that's all I could like go to. And I remember, like, I want to say my senior year of high school, I saved up and we went to New York Comic Con. Or it might have been my junior year. I was, like, in 11th or 12th grade. It might have been 11th grade. But I remember we, like, scrounged and saved and made it to New York and went to New York Comic Con for one day. And it was crazy. Amazing. It was so much fun. But most of my first conventions when I was, like, 13, 14, 15 was absolutely, like, local, like college run conventions. UConn, Kineticon. No, I know Kineticon is not like a college run, but it's like a smaller local convention. And that's like I haven't been to one of those smaller conventions kind of since then. Once I started being able to go to bigger conventions, I kind of only went to bigger conventions. Once I hit like college age and whatnot, I would just go to Anime NYC. I'd go to New York Comic Con. Lately, I've been going to like Anime Boston, stuff like that, like the bigger conventions. And so it was kind of nice to be back at like a smaller convention where clearly most of the attendees are like, this is baby's first convention. This is like, a lot of the attendees are like young teens, there with their friends or dragging their parents along. Like, it was kind of fun. It was cute to see. And like people that are like, this is their first cosplay, and it was really fun to be like, it's kind of crazy. The other thing is, it's kind of crazy to see like what's popping with the kids these days, because there's anime that were popular when I was like a young teen and a teenager that the kids still are cosplaying. Like, I was very surprised at how many Soul Eater cosplays I still saw. How many like stuff like Bungo Stray Dogs and things like that I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I'm like, that's kind of crazy that it's still like super popular and whatnot among teenagers. There was Homestuck, there's Danganronpa, obviously. Like, honestly, it kind of warms my heart that Danganronpa is still like a mainstay of like young, edgy teen culture. Because I remember being on those like sketchy forums in like 2011 before like the official English release of Danganronpa came out, and I played it on like a crappy fan. I played like a crappy fan translate that I downloaded off of a sketchy forum. I downloaded off of a sketchy forum, and I remember that. And it's like nice that that's still like, I mean, of course the kids these days can just buy Danganronpa on Steam, but like, I don't know, man. I remember being obsessed with it, and it's kind of nice that like the kids these days are still into Danganronpa. Because it's like cool and edgy, and it's like a killing game, and it's like bright and colorful and fun. I still like have a soft spot for Danganronpa, by the way. I don't think it's good, per se. I don't think it's very good, but it's still dear to my heart, is what that is. It's still very dear to my heart. And so it was kind of crazy. And also, like, because I recognized a lot of them, it was really nice to like see kids in their little Danganronpa cosplays and be like, oh, I love that character. Wow, like, I love your cosplay. And like, they'd be so happy. And it was very nice. It was very fun. Made me happy. I had a good time. It was a smaller convention, so it wasn't like crazy busy. Not gonna lie, I did spend quite a bit of time just like not doing anything because there just wasn't as many people around. But I still had a good time. And yeah, that's what I was doing. That is in fact what I was doing last week. And why I was not here. I was at a convention. But now I'm back from the convention. Well, I got back like the day after. It was a 2-day convention. I got back the day after. But that's what I was doing. That is in fact what I was doing. Oh no, these two pieces are stuck together. We're good. Let's see. I've been experiencing this week. I've been doing stuff. I've been watching my anime. You know, I've been watching my anime. I've been living. I started watching an anime this week that I otherwise probably wouldn't watch. It's very much kind of just like a generic shonen, and as everyone probably knows at this point, I am very much I am the token shonen hater. I'm sorry, I don't like shonen. I discriminate against shonen. Like, 9 times out of 10, if it's got the shonen label, I don't watch it unless someone like directly recommends it to me and like gives someone I trust gives me their stamp of approval. I am not gonna read it or watch it. Because I don't like shonen. Point blank. I kind of just don't like shonen. I don't bother with most of it. But I did start watching Windbreaker, which is a shonen. I will not lie to you. The story is kind of generic. It's very much like I'm the main character and I have a weird physical feature. I think he has like heterochromia and partially white hair. You know, he's got like a physical, I don't want to say defect because that sounds kind of mean. But he looks different physically and everyone hates him because he's got weird eyes and weird hair, and so he gets bullied about it, and he's really, because of that, he's really good at fighting because he just always had to beat up his bullies, and then he moves to this new town because he wants to be even better at beating people up. And he's actually just like a nice guy, you know. He's very much like textbook protagonist. He's got the prickly exterior, but he's actually a very nice guy that just like wants to be nice to people. But he's so used to everyone hating him that he just like is always mean. He's so used to people being mean to him. And so yeah. And so it's very much like he gets to the town that's full of people that are really good at fighting, and he's like, I'm gonna be the best one. My goal is to be number 1. I want to be the best fighter ever. And it's like, yeah, that's the plot. It's like about delinquents. It's like about people who like, it's kids who like beat people up. You know, it's that kind of thing. But the character, I will say, the animation is really, really good. The animation is really, really good. And I actually do like, even though the story is kind of generic, it's still like fun. It's done in a way that it's like fun. The characters are very good. I do like the character. The reason why I watched it in the first place, though, I'll give you guys 1 second. Just kidding. 1 second is up. It's because there's an eye patch character. Okay, one of the characters is, I saw like a promotional thing about it, and there's a cute eye patch character, and so I was like, well, guess we're watching this. Like, well, I guess I have no choice but to watch this. Clearly, I'm not given a choice in this matter. I have to watch it. There's an eye patch character in it. And the eye patch character is really good, actually. He's actually really cool. He's actually really cool. This newest episode has, like, you get to see him, like, fighting for the first time. Because up till this point, he's kind of just been hanging out, not really doing anything. Well, he is. He is doing stuff, but he's, like, he hasn't been, like, fighting. He's kind of just, like, been there to, like, hang out, you know? Was this supposed to go on the other side? I don't think so. I think this is just not going in here somehow, for some reason. Even though it's supposed to go in there. Oh, it's because it's upside down. It's because it's upside down. Which is fine. This is fixable. It's fixable. Legally obligated to partake when eye patches. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I am legally obligated to partake when there are eye patch characters involved. I'm like, okay, well, listen. I am a simple man. Simple needs. That is to look at beautiful eye patch characters. Okay, I've never claimed to not be that guy. I've never claimed to not be that guy. And so that is simply the life we are living, okay? Which way is this supposed to go? I forgot which way is this. I do need to get this out now. Ah, come on. To get you out of here so I can put it around. But it's actually like a fun, cute show. The characters are fun. If I've been enjoying it, I don't think it's like anything special, but I think it's fun. And I love my boy Suo because he's got it in an eye patch. And also he's just a cool character. He's just a cool guy. Like, I love that he's the type of character that, like, when he was first introduced, he's very much like the easygoing type. He's like smiley, easygoing. He's like, hey guys. You know, he's like kind of non-confrontational to an extent where he's like, you don't see him fighting. Like, you have yet to, it's been a bit and you just have not seen him like engaging in combat yet. And it's like, okay, you don't really have like a good read on this guy. He's kind of just there. How did I get this out? What the heck? I don't want to break anything. I'm trying. I'm really doing some things that might be bad for this piece. I'm trying so hard to not break it because it's got like, it's thin and it's like, ugh. Hate for myself because I'm the one who made the mistake. But anyhow, fun. I like it. I like it so far. If you want something cute, fun, shonen, it's about people who are this plot, very simple. It's about people who are fighting. Like, that's the plot. It's about people who are fighting. And that's, in fact, exactly what happens. It's about guys fighting. And it's about the main guy who just wants to be the strongest guy ever. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be the strongest guy ever. And the other supporting characters are also fun and cute in their own ways. And yeah, and also I love eye patch characters. I feel like this has long been a part of my canon. Me and my love for eye patch characters. Like, truly the easiest way to get me into something is to tell me there's an eye patch character in it. There's a beautiful eye patch character, I'm in there. Easy. But yeah, I started watching Windbreaker. I've still been watching the other shows that I've been watching this, which are Whisper Me a Love Song, which is really cute. It's about girls who do music that are falling in love. Simple, to the point, it's cute. It's about girls who like music and they're falling in love. And it's great. I love Whisper Me a Love Song. But I've also been watching Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night, which is easily like my favorite show this season. That's the one that I'm like, this show is really, really good, and I wish more people watched it. I really wish more people watched it because it's really good. I like for it's like perfect for anyone who's like has any form of like creative aspirations and stuff like that. It very much speaks to that. It's very contemporary. Like I feel like it's the kind of show I feel a little bad. It will absolutely date itself, because it's got a lot of like. But I also kind of understand why, because it's meant to kind of capture like these characters are teenagers and they're meant to be teenagers in the modern landscape, like in today's landscape. And so they're going to say things like cringe. They're going to like there's VTubers, like there's like it's very contemporary. And so it's like but it's cute, it's fun, and it's about like a bunch of girls that just want to like follow their dreams and express themselves, but they're like they have all of the reasons as to like why they can and can't, and it's so fun. It's so fun. Ah, did I stab myself? I'm good. We're good. We're good. It's really cute. I really like it a lot. The animation's good. The music is really good because the main thing are girls that are like they're mainly making music, is what they're doing. They're mostly making music, and the insert songs are actually like good. The insert songs are actually really good, and I was like, "Ooh, this is like good." Because sometimes I don't really like when they have like insert songs when the plot is about like making music, and the insert songs are bad, like, or they're just not that good. I'm like, so you're trying to tell me that this is like like, this character is like great at producing music, and that's their thing. They're really good at making music, but they are I feel like I did do this the correct side. Did I? I think I did still put this in the correct, because I can't imagine it not. Okay. But production, but it doesn't fit any. Am I? Ah! I dropped it. Am I stupid? Am I? Okay, good. I didn't stab myself. I was worried. I was a little worried. I was a little worried there. But, Jellyfish on Swim at Night is really good. It's really cute and it's fun. It's really cute, it's really fun. It's about girls that are trying to express themselves creatively, and it really, like, it's one of the shows, it really gets you. Like, it really gets you emotionally. And I'm like, oh, this is really cute. I like this. But yeah, I love Jellyfish Don't Swim at Night. It's really fun, really cute, really thing. And I wish more people were watching it. Yeah. Speaking of things I did this week, why? I'm just like set. But I don't. It's not like I got sleep. I did. Got like a good amount of it. I love his pointy little shoulder. I love his little. But that is what I've been watching. What I've been doing this week though, there is a Japanese grocery store that it didn't open up recently. It's always been there. I just didn't know about it. I just didn't know about it until recently. But there's a Japanese grocery store, / like home goods store that's pretty close to me. And I was like, oh, because I like using a lot of I like using a bunch of like Japanese like I guess beauty products, self-care, like stuff like that. I use several like Japanese home goods, and if I ever need to like get more, kind of my only option, because some things are stocked in H Mart, but H Mart is mostly a Korean grocery store, so they don't really have a lot of Japanese products. But there are some Japanese products that I really like using. Like the face wash. One of the face washes I use is a Japanese one. Like my conditioner is Japanese. I like using Kami, stuff like that. Which I know I did say one of my face washes. I do have 3 different face washes, which I know is a lot. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of skincare stuff. I do use 3 different face washes, but they're kind of like, they're good for different things. My skin is very oily, especially this time of year. My skin gets very oily. So I usually double cleanse, which is I use an oil-based cleanser and then I use a water-based cleanser. So those are 2 of my cleansers. I have an oil-based and I have a water-based, like regular foamy cleanser. And then I also have a powder wash, which is, that's a Japanese product, is my Suisei powder wash, is a type of exfoliating face wash. But it's a very gentle exfoliating face wash because I like using exfoliants, but my skin is quite sensitive. So a lot of exfoliants, like I've tried using like BHA and whatnot, and it just irritates the hell out of me, and I don't like it. It's too harsh on me. A lot of like BHA, PHA products. But I still want to like do exfoliating because it's good to do from time to time. Like the powder wash, I do not use it that often. I maybe only use it like twice a week. Maybe once or twice a week, and whenever I'm traveling is when I use the powder wash. But it is really good. It's very gentle exfoliating. I like using it a lot, but it is a Japanese product, and so up until this point, I'm like, well, the only place I can get it is like I have to go into the city and go to either Tesso or Sunrise Mart, and that's like, it's not too bad because it's not like I need to buy these products all the time. So usually I have been pretty okay if I have to wait to buy more when I go into the city. It's not like I have to buy these like super often, but there's a Japanese store that opened up recently near me, and so I'm like, well, it would be kind of nice if I don't have to like go all the way to wait until I go all the way to like Sunset or Tesso in the city to get a lot of these products, and so I did. It was actually quite nice. I ended up buying a few things. I got like truly technology. The way technology has advanced is insane. I got a product called a hair stick. I think I specifically got the Ichikami hair stick. It's like a little I can't describe it. I don't have it in my hand, but it's like a little kind of waxy stick. You open it and there's a little waxy stick, and you use it on your hair to like get flyaways that are like sticking out of your head on the top of your head, and like smooth your bangs, and it's revolutionary. Truly, I'm like, oh my god, my hair looks so nice. Like now that I don't have all these little like split ends and flyaways that are flattened to my head, and you'd like, it's not like it feels waxy or anything like that, but it's very light, but it's like, it just works, and it's pretty great. A hair stick is kind of insane, and I can't believe I've been living my life without them. I can't believe they're not like more popular out here, because the only time I've seen these hair sticks are like at Japanese stores. I don't even see them at like Korean stores. I've only ever seen them at Japanese ones, and it's so crazy because hair sticks are insane. Like, well, I don't want to say everyone can use them because they're really only useful if you have straight hair. Like, it sounds kind of bad. It's really only useful if you have straight hair, or if you're like really slicking your hair back, or like you're tying your hair back. It's great for when you're tying your hair back so that you can smooth out all the little flyaway hairs. But it's mostly really useful for people with straight hair. So I guess that might be why it's not as popular, or at least like the top of, like, people who don't have super curly hair. If you have like curly frizzy hair, this stick is probably not that useful. But if you have like wavy or straight hair, it's great. This thing is phenomenal. I love this thing. And yeah, my funky little Ichikami hair stick to, like, smooth my hair, and it's time. I know, this is mostly like, listen, I can do whatever I want. It's girl talk. It's girl talk time right now. We're gonna talk about like funky skincare and makeup stuff that I've been doing. What I've been doing. Because it's what I've been doing lately. I found this stick. I also bought a bunch of stuff, like bento stuff, because fun fact, I pack my lunch most of the time. I have my little Hatsune Miku bento box that I do in fact take to my engineering job and put in my work fridge. Listen, no one said anything to me about it yet, but I know they're judging me. But I don't care, so I continue to bring my Hatsune Miku lunchbox with me to my engineering job every day. Nothing stops me. But I do pack bentos quite often. Most of the time, actually. And so I bought a bunch of like cute little bento stuff. Very happy about that. This isn't even skincare. I thought we were supposed to be talking about skincare. Speaking of like makeup skincare stuff, you know what? I bought like a real lip balm this week. Which sounds kind of crazy, but I bought like an expensive lip balm. Miku has rights. I bought like an expensive lip balm, and for me it's expensive. It was like, I don't know, like $14, which is a lot for a lip balm in my eyes, because I'm a person up till this point, even though I'm very into like beauty, skincare, all that stuff, like I do be spending money on makeup and skincare, but for some reason, like most of my life, for me, lip balm has been, I buy a $3 little tub of Vaseline, and that's my lip balm. And sometimes I put the Vaseline in like a little travel container, but sometimes I don't. And so that's just been lip balm for me. And not to knock Vaseline, I still do like it. I still stand by me and my Vaseline as lip balm. But oh man, I've been wanting to get like a lip balm that I can carry around with me more easily, because the Vaseline, a lot of the time, unless I like put it in a travel container myself, I like cannot take it anywhere, because it's like a freaking little, like a regular little tub of Vaseline. So I can't really take it with me. So I've been wanting to get a lip balm that like I can take with me places. And so there's one that I saw a lot of really good reviews for that I've been wanting to try, that I know people who like it, and it's the Glossier Balm.com. The Glossier Balm.com. Because I don't know, man, I saw a lot of people liking it. It's like slightly tinted. The other thing is I wanted something. The other thing with the Vaseline is completely clear. I wanted something like ever so slightly tinted. Because the thing is, like, besides Vaseline, the only other thing I have are like lip gloss. Or I did have like a Burt's Bees tinted lip balm at some point, but it was too tinted. It was too tinted. It like, cause these days I don't wear makeup often. Maybe only like once or twice a week I'll wear makeup, because I have to wake up super early for work. So most of the time I just cannot be bothered. I just cannot be bothered, because I have to be at work at 8 a.m. I have to be there at 8. So most of the time in the morning I just don't have time to do makeup, and I don't. Which honestly is kind of like a little bit done wonders for my self-esteem. I won't lie to you. Weirdly enough, because I feel like, because I used to be, when I was still like going to college and whatnot, all the time, and a lot of the time, like, I didn't have to wake up like super early, and so I just use regular Burt's Bees. Yeah, I don't have anything against Burt's Bees. I think I bought like the little tinted one, and it was just too tinted. It was just too tinted, and so it kind of turned me off of Burt's Bees. It's not like particularly their fault. But yeah, I wanted to use something that's only like a little bit tinted. I don't wear makeup most of the time, which funny enough has actually been great for my self-esteem, because I'm just like, I, for the most part, kind of just felt like I can't go outside and I can't really look at myself without makeup. I feel like unless I like wear makeup, I feel like I'm not trying. So it's either like I have a whole put together outfit, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I do everything, and then I feel good, or I just like walk outside in basically my pajamas and like don't do anything. Which is like not great. But honestly, since I've been going to work and whatnot, and I just don't have time to do stuff like makeup, it's just like gotten me very used to my face, if that makes sense. It's just gotten me very used to like seeing my face and looking at just my face as it is. And like dressing, because obviously like at work, I'm lucky in the sense that my workplace is pretty chill. Like they're not, I don't have to show up in like business casual, I don't have to show up in like business formal, you know? But they obviously still don't want me to like show up in pajamas either. And so I've been getting a lot more used to like dressing more casually and stuff like that, and just like being, I don't know, man, since most days I don't wear makeup now, I've just like gotten a lot more used to looking at my bare face and just like caring more about like skincare and stuff like that. Also because I've been caring more about skincare, is I've just been getting a lot more used to just like my face as it is, and not like really relying on makeup to make myself feel like more okay with my face, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't wear makeup too often, but I do still, you know, like doing things. I still like stuff like adding a little bit of color to my face and whatnot, but nothing too crazy because I don't have time to do my makeup. But I got the Glossier Balm.com, Balm.com, as I know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but I don't know. Whatever. And what's it? Because the other thing is that you can also, supposedly, you can use it on your lips or also on your cheeks as like a very subtle blush. And honestly, like, I did it and it works. Like, it's for real. It's for real. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. I got it in the shade Lavender, which is purple, which I actually learned about not too long ago, that like if you have like a more tan or darker skin tone, like kind of like my skin tone, like brown, like medium, purple makeup looks really good on you. Like purple blush, purple lipstick, stuff like that looks really good on you. And I was like, I don't know if I believe you. But then I tried it and I was like, oh my god, purple does look really good on me. Well, not like, I'm not talking like Unit 01 purple, but like, you know, like the violets, the magentas, like things that definitely lean on the purple side. Also, I have tried just some like straight purples that do lean more on the Unit 01 purple side of things. But for the most part, it's like pretty nice. For the most part, it's like pretty nice. And so it was also kind of fun because clearly you could see lavender was the shade that people bought the least. Because that's just how a lot of makeup is. A lot of people who probably buy stuff like Glossier are not people with dark skin, are not people with darker skin tones. No offense to the Glossier fans out there, but that's just a personal observation. This is just not the target demographic, especially, yeah, if you have warmer undertones. Yeah. Purple is really good if you have like warm undertone skin, because I have very warm undertone skin. Like anything that's like cool tone just does not look good on me. It sucks. I love looking at makeup tutorials that have like the cute blush pink tones, and I really wish I could be that girl, but I cannot. If I wear something that's like blush pink, I'm like, I look like I dipped my face in flour. I look kind of crazy, so I don't. And it's like a lot of makeup is more geared towards people with like neutral or even cooler undertones, I feel like. That people that tend to look good in like pale pinks and stuff like that, and I just don't. And so it's kind of a struggle. But I got the lavenderbalm.com and it looks really good on me and I've been really liking it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's also a really good lip balm. And I'm like, I can't believe like, I hate to say it, but sometimes things that are more expensive are better. It is in fact a better lip balm than my $3 Vaseline. I can't believe that happened. My like $14 Glossier Balm.com is actually like pretty good. Like a good lip balm. It smells like lavender and it's purple, and it's like a very subtle enough color that I can just wear it without anything else. But I also have been trying tinted sunscreen. I tried like, because I had to go to Sephora to buy this. I had to go to Sephora to buy this. I was at Sephora anyway, and I was like, I'm kind of curious about tinted sunscreen because, again, I do not have time. I do like cosmetics. I do like makeup and stuff like that. Even though I have like gotten a lot better at just like accepting my face, I still do. I do still just like, I don't mind going out barefaced these days. Like, I don't. I can kind of just go either way, but I do also like cosmetics. I like makeup. I like skincare. I like cosmetics. And so I wanted to try like tinted sunscreen because obviously I wear sunscreen every day, which I know it's like, why do you wear sunscreen? You already have melanin. Because I don't want skin cancer. That's why. And also it's like, I know I'm like 100% playing into the whole like anti-aging beauty stuff, but like it is better for your skin. A lot of fun fact, a lot of aging comes from sun damage. A lot of like visible aging is a result of like sun damage and stuff like that. And so I don't want that to happen to me. At least until, okay, I am Asian. I know what my age, like I've seen my mother and my grandmother, and I've already been aging exactly like them, and I know I will continue to age exactly like them. In the sense that if you're an Asian woman, you look the same until you hit 60, 65, and then you go full grandma mode. Okay? You look the same until 60, 65, and then you just get launched into the grandma zone. There is no in-between period. Like, that's just how it's always been, and I know that is my future. Like, my mother, not to toot our own horn, but my mother is beautiful. She still looks pretty young for her age. She still looks very young for her age, like enough that we get the oh, is that your sister thing? And it's like, no, because one time it's happened like a couple times. It's happened like several times, I think. My mom and I did Pilates together for a while. Another thing, I gotta get back into Pilates. Since I moved out of Connecticut, I haven't gone back to Pilates, like since I properly moved to New York. Because I just used to do it with my mom. I just did it with my mom, but now I don't have anyone to go with, and also it's expensive. Also, I can like kind of afford it now, but Pilates is insane. I feel like Pilates gets shunted into like the like girly exercise. Pilates is crazy. It's if you combine yoga with aerobics with weight training. That's Pilates. Like, it's crazy. I do love Pilates though. Yeah, my mom does enjoy getting like sister zoned for me, like. But yeah, I did Pilates with my mom, and I remember like after like not our first, but maybe like our second or third Pilates class, we were just like chatting with the instructor, and the instructor's like, oh, you guys are doing pretty well, because we're also both pretty flexible. We were doing pretty well, not to toot my own horn, but I was doing pretty well. And so the Pilates instructor was like, oh, have you guys like done Pilates before? And my mom was like, oh yeah, I did, but it's been a long time. I think the last time I did Pilates is like when I had her. So like, cause like the last time she did Pilates was like after she gave birth to me. And the instructor was like, oh, you're her mom? I thought you guys were sisters. And that's like not even the only time that's happened. It's happened another time, like when we were at a restaurant. It's crazy. But yeah, my mom does enjoy that, and I know that is like also my future, because that's just how my family is. Because it's so crazy. I love my grandmother. My grandmother is also a beautiful woman. I saw a picture of my grandmother like from when she was in her like 40s or 50s, and I didn't recognize her. I was like, I genuinely like thought that was a different person. I was like, oh, who's this? And my mom was like, oh, that's your grandmother. And I'm like, that's Nanu? that, by the way, Nanu is like an affectionate term for like grandmother. Nanu is like I guess in English translation is like kind of like granny a little bit, Nanu. But yeah. Nanu also specifically refers to like, because in Bengali there's a different like you refer to relatives on your dad's side differently from how you refer to relatives on your mom's side. Like Nanu is for like your maternal grandmother, while Dadu is like your paternal grandmother. Fun fact of my parents' dads, they're so that's so cool. Yeah, I have pictures. I'll send you some pictures of my grandparents too. My grandmother, one, she was so, I mean, she's still beautiful, but she was so like, she's so pretty. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, no, I saw a picture of her when she was like in her 40s, and I just straight up didn't recognize her. Because that's just what it's like. You look exactly the same, and then you hit 60, 65, and it's grandma mode. And it's grandma mode. And I look forward to that being my future. Like, truly, I don't want to avoid it. I do look forward to entering grandma mode. But before I enter grandma mode, you know, I want to protect my skin. I sent you a pic on Discord. Let me look at it. Oh my god! They're stylish! I'm assuming these are your dad's parents or they're your grandparents. Man, your grandma's dress, like her hairstyle, everything. She's so stylish. They're both so stylish. Damn, that's so cool. Let me see. After stream, because I will have to dig through Facebook a little bit for this, but I have some older pictures of my grandparents, and they're also like, my grandmother is so beautiful. I was like, oh my god. But like Bangladesh in the 60s, 70s, crazy. Yeah. Your grandparents were hot. I do agree. I hope that's not weird to say. I was like, wow, they're looking nice. But yeah, I know that that is going to be my life, and that I will be aging like my mother and my grandmother. But that doesn't mean I don't want to like protect my skin a little bit, and so I do use sunscreen every day. I do wear sunscreen every day. Which way am I supposed to? This way? Oh, it does. This way? Here. Okay. And then this way. This. Unless it doesn't want to fit together, actually. There we go. But yeah, I use sunscreen every day. It's good for your skin. If you don't wear sunscreen, you should. Even if you are of a tanner complexion, have melanin, like, I have never gotten a sunburn in my life. Fun fact about me is I've never gotten a sunburn in my life because even though I love being out in the sun, I just have never gotten one because I have those brown genetics. I have brown genetics. But fun fact that I learned is that people with darker skin are actually more susceptible to skin cancer because we don't get stuff like sunburns. We're more likely to think we don't need sun protection. But the thing is, like, UV rays don't discriminate. Even though we're not getting sunburns, like, that doesn't mean we're not susceptible to things like skin cancer. And so people with darker skin, like, are actually tend to be more susceptible to skin cancer because we think we don't need sun protection. Because the folks that burn in the sun do not, like, I had friends that get sunburns on cloudy days from being outside, and I'm like, oh my god, how are you alive? How do you live? I cannot imagine. I cannot imagine if the sun was wanting to kill me like that, because I love the sun. I love being outside. I love being in the sun. if I was punished for being in the sun, I would simply like suffer and die. I would simply suffer and die. But I do wear sunscreen, at least on my face and whatnot. At least on my face and whatnot, I do wear sunscreen. And yeah, I wanted to try out tinted sunscreen, and I did. I got fun thing. You know, the other thing is I've gotten a lot better at like talking to. What the heck are they doing out there? I think my noise gating is good enough that you can't really hear it. I think my noise gating is good enough that you can't really hear it, but someone's out there like revving an engine. What's going on out there? Yeah, mostly tan, that's good. But sun protection is still no joke. I don't want to get skin cancer. And also I want my skin to look nice for as long as possible. I want my skin to look nice for as long as possible. Gouf check. Gouf check. Thank you for reminding me that this is in fact a Gundam stream. We're working on his arms right now. As you can see, Gouf, he's looking great. He's looking great. He doesn't have arms yet though. That's his one fatal flaw at the moment, is that he does not have arms right now. That's okay, which is why we're making them. We're making his arms right now. We got his funky little shoulder bits. I love his little funky pointy shoulder bits. And now we're just like hanging out, he's gonna have arms soon. Hopefully he's gonna have arms soon. Gonna have arms. What are they doing out there? First, it doesn't even sound like it's going anywhere. It sounds like it's like in a driveway that's like next door to me. I don't know what's happening out there though. What? Are they just like going around the block? Like what's happening? I know I sound like I'm insane because I don't think any of you can hear. I don't think anyone can hear this, but like only I can hear this. Well, it's not. Well, you're not. It's like you get what I mean, okay? I feel like I'm going crazy. Are they like going around the block? Cause I keep hearing it like rev and come back. But like I know what it sounds like when a loud car or like a motorcycle is passing by, but it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they're revving it repeatedly because it keeps coming back. It's like, what's happening out there? But I've been having a good time. I feel like, speaking of driving, I've been becoming a lot more used to being a New York driver. I've been becoming a lot more accustomed to being a New York driver. In the sense that I kind of just don't take any nonsense. I don't take any BS on the road. I've definitely been learning more to like stand my to like hold my ground when I'm driving. I'm like, it's my turn, which means I'm going to go. Race, vroom vroom, yeah. I do, okay. Usually I think it's kind of annoying when like cars race each other randomly on the street, but I've kind of become that guy. Like one of my life's little joys, because I am still, even though I'm not afraid of the left lane anymore, I obviously still prefer the right lane. I do still prefer being in the right lane because it's just way more chill. I love hanging out in the right lane because you know what happens a lot in the right lane is everyone is like, oh, I go fast, I go in left lane, like that's it. But then everyone goes in the left lane. And you know what happens for right lane enjoyers like me is the road is wide open. And so one of my life's little joys is to be in the right lane. When I'm driving home, there's like a stoplight and I'll pull into the little right. Most people go towards the left lane and I'll pull into the little right lane. And yeah, when you're in the left lane, except what I do is I see as soon as that light turns green, I just book it. I just go and I zoom straight past everyone in the left lane. Truly one of life's little joys is to just zoom past people in the left lane. in my little Civic. And the amount of times, like, people take that as a threat. Because sometimes I will, like, zoom by in my little Civic. I love my little Honda Civic. I'll zoom by in my little Civic, and people will, like, speed up to try and catch up to me. And I'm like, that's your fault for being in the left lane. For not knowing the joys of the right lane. The freedoms of the right lane. And thus, I have a great time. As I just zoom straight past. Now I'm becoming a little speed demon. Don't worry. I am a little bit of a little speed demon. Yeah, I do like going okay, I like going fast in my car. Especially this time of year when it's like beautiful out and I roll down my windows and I just like blast music. I am so obnoxious. I blast my music, I roll down my windows, I play my music, and I sing my heart. The other thing I do is I sing my heart out in my car. Like, whether the windows are rolled, I like singing in my car just because I like singing. And it doesn't stop me even if the windows are rolled down. So if you ever hear someone zooming down the road singing their heart out to Whitney Houston, it's me. That's me. To like disco or like ABBA or Whitney Houston, that's me. I'm there. Or Donna Summer. Like, truly, it's so nice going fast in your car, in my little Civic, zooming down the road. I don't go like super crazy on local roads. Obviously, I don't want like a ticket or anything. I don't want to like get a ticket. So it's not like I go crazy on the speeding. I'm not gonna go like 80 on a local road because that's kind of just stupid. But you know, I like going fast in my car with the windows rolled down and blasting my tunes and singing my heart out. And I apologize to everyone who lives on this road or is also existing on this road with me, because I do just have my windows rolled down and I am blasting I Just Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston, and I'm singing my goddamn heart out, okay? Because it's a nice day and I can do whatever I want. It's a nice day and I can do whatever I want. The other thing that's been getting me though are, so I'm sorry once again to out myself as a K-pop fan, but I do listen to K-pop, and one of the songs that I've kind of been stuck with lately is Magnetic by Ilit. I don't know how to say it, but it's Magnetic by Ilit. It's really cute. It's like a really cutesy song. It gets terminally stuck in your head. Look it up at your own peril. Look it up at your own peril, because it will get stuck in your head. I'm blasting my music loud enough to hear outside the car even with the windows up. Honestly, that's kind of me too. I like loud music. Honestly, I think it helps me concentrate more too. Like, genuinely, I concentrate better on the road when I have my music on versus when I don't have anything on. Because I'm someone that like terminally needs to multitask, and so I have my music on, or sometimes I have a podcast if I just don't have the energy. You know, sometimes I don't have the energy to listen to music. And so a lot of the time on my way to work, I'll put on a podcast because I'm like dead tired. And I just need to be awake. But I've been listening to Magnetic by Ilit, and it has little beeps and boops. Like, just in the song, like in the music, it's got little beeps and boops. And one of the beeps sounds exactly like my car sensor. And it gets me every time. It gets me every time. Where I'm like, the song comes on and the little beeps happen, and I'm like, huh? What's happening? I'm like, am I about to hit a car? Because it's my little, it's like, because I have a new enough car that I have like the little brake sensor and whatnot. So like, beep, 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 there's a car. And it sounds exactly like that. And I lose my mind every time it comes onto the song, and it bothers me, but I still listen to it because it's a good song. But when I listen to it in the car, it gets me every time where I'm like, is that my brake sensor? Is there a car that I'm about to hit? Tommy will always try and talk to me while driving. Oh my god, yeah. I cannot talk to people while driving. That's the thing. I cannot talk to people while driving. It messes me up. For some reason, talking and driving is like too much of. Maybe it's I'm not as I'm also still like a fairly new driver. I'm not as used to driving yet, and so I just I cannot talk and drive. If someone calls me on the phone, because my car has the thing is like the car phone play whatever. Like I can answer calls in my car if my phone's connected. But I can't talk and drive. I'm like, I know I have to call you back later. I have to call you back later. I can't do this. And so, yeah, or if I don't mind driving people in my car, but I'm like, I will get distracted if they're talking to me, and it sucks. But if I have my little podcast on, you going to drive to Furpak this year? Honestly, I might. But also, taking the train to Furpak is not that difficult for me. Because driving to Furpak, I'd have to drive a little bit through the city, and I'll look up how traffic is like and whatnot, but there's a decent chance the amount of time I spend driving will be the amount of time I would spend on the train. It might even, if it's faster or the same on the train, I'll probably still take the train. Because there's a chance that driving to Furpak will probably... Because for me, the train is maybe an hour and a half, I want to say. Hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Depending on, because I have to transfer once, depending on how that goes. But if the drive is, roughly the same or less than that, I'll drive instead. But taking the train is actually, not difficult for me to go to Furpak for. But I do want to try driving because I think it would be fun. I'm trying to practice being on the highway more because, I don't know, I feel like I just have to get more used to it. I just need to get more used to driving on the highway and stuff. And so that's what we shall be doing. Because I want to be able to drive. I want to be able to drive up to Connecticut and visit you guys and just go. I want to be able to just go spend a weekend, because actually I'll be back in Connecticut at the end of this month. I will be back in Connecticut at the end of this month because it's my brother's birthday, and so I will be back in Connecticut. Yeah. But yeah, man, speaking of driving, I almost died this week because, I feel like that happens regularly because of just the nature of New York drivers, and that not a single person in this godforsaken state knows how to drive. Truly. Now that I've driven in both Connecticut and New York is way worse. New York is way worse. Connecticut drivers are saints compared to New York drivers. It's actually insane. They really are just giving out driver's license and cereal boxes here. Because there's a lot of people, I saw someone in a Prius trying to make a U-turn in a crowded, busy street. This is, not city, it's not city, but it's, town center, and it's, crowded. There are cars parked on either side of the street, and 2 lanes of traffic, and all of these lanes have cars in them right now. And someone thought, you know what? I think I can make a U-turn here. And you know what? They couldn't. You know what? They couldn't. And you know what happened? They got stuck between a pickup truck and another car. Oh my god. I also experienced unstoppable force versus an immovable object in real time. It's amazing what people think are good ideas. Yeah, New Jersey drivers are scary. I've never driven in New Jersey, but it does scare me. I have never driven in the New Jersey, but it does terrify me to drive in New Jersey. Because driving in New York is already rough. New York drivers, terrifying. None of these people know how to drive a car. But, New Jersey also scares me. But yeah, I truly, in real time, witnessed unstoppable force versus immovable object. I was driving home. I was in the right lane as usual, in my lane, minding my business. I go to a red light. And on this street, a lot of the time when like oncoming traffic is red, they have like there's like a turning lane and they'll have a little arrow light for like the people that want to turn left and whatnot. They'll have like just a section for when the turning light's on, and so people can make their turns. And so it's a red light for me because I'm oncoming, and the people are turning, right? You know, the cars are turning. And next to me is a massive, in the left lane is a massive pickup truck. Classic lifted brodozer. And so the cars are like finishing turning. And there's like there's like a straggler car that I could tell, like, that light has turned yellow. Like, it is going to be red. But, like, he started making the turn, and it's very clearly a Honda Civic driven by a teenage boy. So in the car his parents bought him. So clearly all of the confidence in the world, none of the critical thinking skills. Okay? And he's like, you know what, I'm gonna make this turn. I think I can make it. Even though it very much, right as he was like making the turn, that light has turned red for him. That light is red for him as he's making that turn. And he's like, I've already started making this turn, I'm just gonna keep making this turn. And obviously, like, the light turns green for oncoming. And so I wait. I'm like, well, a car's turning. I'm not just gonna, like, go. I stopped to wait for the other car to finish turning. But alas, the brodozer next to me has different ideas. And I swear to God, as soon as the light turns green for us, that guy just guns it. He just straight floors it. And I'm like, oh my god! I swear to God, these cars are 3 feet away from a head-on collision that I'm about to watch happen in real time. Because it's either lifted brodozer versus teenage boy in a car his parents bought him. So, not a single drop of critical thinking between these two people. And it truly was like, oh my god. And you know who won? The brodozer. Because the little teenage boy in the Honda Civic his parents bought him saw this guy like coming straight for him in a massive truck, and I swear, like, this guy backed up. He was making the turn and he backed up because he obviously didn't want to get hit by a car. But they were like 3 feet away from a head-on collision. That brodozer was not slowing down. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I hate people that drive lifted trucks. I have a personal vendetta against people that drive massive lifted trucks. And I'm sorry, I know it's like a good workman's vehicle. I have nothing against people, because you can tell the difference, right? There's a difference between an actual workman's vehicle and a brodozer. These are two different people. Like, actual workman's pickup trucks tend to be, like, more reasonable sizes. They tend to be, like, older. You can clearly tell that they're used, that they're, like, this person works with this car. And it's got stuff in it, and it's, like, tends to be worn, tend to be older models, they tend to be smaller. Because you know what's extra stupid? Even though pickup trucks get bigger, the bed sizes do not. So most of the time, these massive brodozers have the same size, if not smaller bed sizes than like a normal sized pickup truck from 10 years ago, which is insane to me. It's so stupid, but clearly you can tell the difference between like a brodozer and like an actual workman's truck. But I have a personal vendetta against brodozers, those massive lifted cars, those massive lifted pickup trucks, because me and my little Honda Civic, my Civic is quite small. It's a newer Civic. It's just how it is. They're like just a smaller sedan. And cars are so big. There's so many cars that are so big. It still scares me to drive near cars that are a lot bigger than mine. Because if I'm behind like a massive lifted pickup truck, I'm genuinely scared. Like, if I get too close to you, you will not see me. I'm so scared to drive near those like massive lifted trucks because genuinely, if I'm too close, they can't see me. And I'm like eternally terrified because, yeah, what if they just do something because they can't see me? They don't know that I'm there, and then I die. And I don't want to die. And so, yeah. And also, every single one of them, not a single one of these people know how to drive a car. Not a single one of these people ever know how to drive a car. As evidenced by, like, or they're just, I feel like they're just so used to everyone moving out of the way for their car. For their, like, massive freaking bulldozer of a car that they just, like, you know, if everyone moves, traffic laws don't apply to me, actually. And I'm like, no, they definitely should. No, you're just making it suck for everyone else, actually. Sucks. I'm also 100% guilty of if there's a car that wants to, like, turn or merge, I'll be nice to them if I like their car. If I like their car. If you have a massive lifted truck, or if you have, like, a Porsche Cayenne, I am not letting you in. Good luck. Unless I, like, obviously, unless I, like, have to, but, like, I'm not letting you in out of the mercy of my heart. That is for sure. Because the other cars, I live in an area that's, like, kind of ritzy, kind of upscale. And so I see in order, and also Teslas. I also beef with Teslas because I don't like Elon Musk. But I live in an area where I see a lot of people driving like Porsche Cayennes and Teslas, and I'm like, no mercy. Someone else will let you in. Bye. I know. I've definitely been adapting to the ways of being a new driver. And that's the life I've been living. Oh, how I almost died earlier this week, too. I was driving to work, and on the road to my office, there's like a really, kind of like a really sharp blind turn. And I slowed down, obviously, so I could make this sharp blind turn. And there's someone behind me, like, absolutely riding the back of my car. Like, they were so close. And I'm like, calm down. Please. I'm sorry I slowed down so I can take a sharp blind turn. But right as I was making the turn, a family of geese started crossing the road. And so I slammed on my brakes, obviously, because I don't want to hit the geese. And I truly thought I was about to die because this guy was like right behind me and I slammed on my brakes. And I was like, oh. Luckily, no collisions happened, but I saw my life flash before my eyes in that very moment. I thought it was over for me. I know I wouldn't have died, but it just would have sucked, but it felt like I was gonna die. Okay? It felt like I was going to die. Did I cut out F4? I did not cut out F4. Yeah. Those little armsies. I feel like whenever I do 2x2s like this, where I have to, like, a bunch of steps are ×2, but some of them are not, it messes me up. Which is why I try and do them, like, one at a time, even though it says build 2 of them. I kind of just do it one at a time. But it's not as good to do it like that, because obviously it's a lot slower, and, like, sometimes I still get mixed up anyway. Because I struggle. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have had some close calls with, like, animals on the road, because sometimes there are some animals out there that I'm like, girly, do you want to be hit with my car? Please? I would be, if I ever actually, like, hit an animal with my car, I would be, like, genuinely traumatized. I don't think I could ever drive again. Like, if I hit an animal with my car, it's over. I would, like, just cry. And then die. It would just be over for me. Because I've had a couple of close calls, and because they're just some animals that just like, what if I just jump onto the road right now as you're driving? And I'm like, don't, please, I don't want to hit you with my car. And I feel like I would actually like cry, like it'd be over if I ever hit an animal with my car. It like viscerally terrifies me now. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like viscerally terrified of ever accidentally hitting an animal with my car. It makes me feel so bad, because I would feel so bad. I would feel so bad. I really would never be able to recover. Yeah. Oh, this goes. Guess this here. I know these are for. This is for his like elbow bend. I'm pretty sure this is for his like upper arm bending. I recognize these bits enough that I kind of know it. Wait. Oh no, this. I almost messed up. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. I almost did the wrong piece. What the hell? Are these? No, they're not. I'm actually stupid. This goes here. This goes here. This. I have this. I have this. Goes in here. Okay. We following. We keeping up. Goes here. Okay. Okay. This. And then I'm gonna have to do it again because I know this is for his arms. Let's have to do it again. Which is both a blessing and a curse. Sometimes it's nice when I just get it again. I get to do it faster this time. Oh shit. Ah. But yeah, that has been my driving adventures as of late. Has been my driving adventures as of late. What the heck? This is, by the way, this is a very shallow connection. It is not very secure, so if I touch it even a little bit, it just like comes out, which is very annoying. Because I am trying to put these pieces together. But I know that this guy has like really crazy good men, so I don't. Oh, it's for a reason. But it's still. Now I have to do this again. I have to do this again. I have to do it again. Because I have to do it again. Because it's his arms, and he has to have 2 of them, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, I feel bad. I do love that my beautiful boy will have 2 arms. My beautiful boy will have 2 arms. The other thing I did this week is that, speaking of Brunch and Build, time for the brunch part of Brunch and Build. I learned what orzo was this week. I learned what orzo was this week. Amazing what people think are good ideas. Yeah. Oh wait, no, I already read that. I'm stupid. Also, why isn't chat showing up on? I just remember this whole time, chat has not shown up on this. Oh, has chat just been like coming and going? I changed the setting, so hopefully that should fix it. Because I actually learned this yesterday. Because, fun fact, I will only talk about this briefly because I don't want to get super into it. But I did a test stream on my personal channel that I was very happy about. Because I want to do. I love Brunch and Build. I'll always continue with Brunch and Build, but I want to like, now that I have more time, I want to like branch out and do other stuff. And so I had a test stream on my personal channel, which I thought went very well. I had a lot of fun. I did a shoujo manga tier list. I found online, like, truly the shoujo manga tier list of all time. It was, I didn't even finish it. I'm making a part two. I'm making a part two, brother, because it was so crazy. It was so crazy. But, yeah. And so I had a good time, and so I had to re-set up and do a bunch of stuff. And basically, it was a test stream. It was very scuffed. It was extremely scuffed. I have no idea what I was doing, but that's fine. I had no idea what I was doing, but that's fine. And so, but it's fine. That's kind of the purpose of test streaming. And I had to mess around with my chat box settings a lot because I kind of have no idea what I'm doing. Sorry, I felt like I was about to. I keep feeling like I'm about to sneeze and then I don't. I keep feeling like I'm about to sneeze and then I don't. The heck. But anyway, I already appreciate Heather. Of course, I already appreciate Heather, but doing everything alone definitely made me appreciate Heather more. Because I had to like configure everything myself, and I was like, oh, this is a pain. I actually kind of had to learn how to do a bunch of it because there's a chunk of it that Heather does for me. And I'm like, thank you, Heather. I love you, Heather. But I had to do it on my own yesterday, and I was like, ugh. And I had to configure all of my chat box stuff myself, and it was kind of a process. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I had a lot of fun. I definitely want to keep streaming and doing stuff on my personal channel and whatnot, and having a good time. And hopefully I will be continuing my shoujo manga tier list. I don't want to say today, because I don't know if I have it in me to stream twice in one day. Because the other thing is my 2-hour limit is like for real. My 2-hour limit is real. Once I hit that 2-hour mark, I'm gone. My energy drained. I don't know how people stream for longer than that. I like people out there that stream for like hours and hours and hours. God, props to you. That could not be me. That could not be me. Like, there's a reason why Brunch and Build is capped at like tends to be capped at like 2 hours. Because honestly, that really is the ideal time. Even when I was streaming alone, I'm so used to like I stream for 2 hours and that's what I do. Once I hit that 2-hour mark is when I started getting like tired. I was like, okay, I gotta come. Can't keep like this. And so that's why, because it is a massive, like truly, it is the shoujo tier list of all time. Like, there's stuff on there that doesn't even have like English releases. There's stuff out there that like, there's stuff on that list that doesn't even have like English releases. There's stuff out there that's only been coming out like very recently. I remember one that I saw on there was like, that I ended up ranking was Tamon's B-side, which is really cute, by the way. I started reading Tamon's B-side not too long ago. It did get announced for an official, I think Volume 1 might have come out in English already, I don't recall, but either Volume 1 has already come out or it's going to come out soon. Because it did get announced to get an English release. I know it got announced to get an official English release, which I'm very happy about. Tamon's B-side is very cute. I can't say it reinvents the wheel, because it doesn't. It's very much like pure wish fulfillment, delusional fantasy nonsense, but it's fun. Let me have this. I go a lot more into it on my stream, but it's fun. It's cute. I had a good time just like getting to sit there and talk about shoujo manga, because I have read a lot of shoujo manga. Obviously, there's still a bunch on that list that I didn't know, but I love shoujo manga. I've been reading it. It was the thing that got me into anime and manga, is shoujo, is magical girls. Like, I calculated it. And I have been reading since I first started reading shoujo manga, like knowing what manga is, like going to my local school library and picking out a volume of Kamitama Karin. It has been 15 years for me. I have been reading shoujo manga for 15 years, which is insanity. Like it makes me feel old. Um, Two, crazy that I've been reading manga for longer than like for more than half my life. It's just crazy to think about that I've been reading manga for like more than half my life. God. I think the other reason why my allergies are kind of killing me is that I have the window open because I don't have my air conditioner installed yet, and if I close the windows, it gets hot in here. It gets hot in here, and so I kind of have to leave some of the windows open when it's nice out like this to like air out my apartment. But also, pollen. And I'm dying. I've literally just been sitting here in my house, and I'm already getting allergies. I hate being alive. But it's fine. It's fine. But I had a good time just like talking about shoujo manga. I definitely plan on doing more stuff on my personal channel. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll get there. I think I'm mostly gonna use it. A lot of it will definitely be talking about like anime, manga, stuff like that, because that is like a big part of like who I am and what I do. And it's something that, just considering, like, if anything, I think it will make Brunch and Build a little bit better in a sense, because it will like be a bit more refined into like what I talk about and what I don't. Because I know this is a Gundam stream, and I do forget sometimes that this is a Gundam stream, and I don't talk about Gundam as much as I could be, about my Gundam as much as I could be, but like, that's why I would like to like start doing stuff on my personal channel, so that way like I feel like it'll make everything better. So that I feel like Brunch and Build will be a bit more focused. Not that Brunch and Build will ever stop just being like me waking up in the morning and chatting about whatever I feel like. And also occasionally talking about Gundam. But I don't know, man. I like Brunch and Build. I love Brunch and Build. It's crazy to me that we're coming up on 2 years of Brunch and Build. I think I started streaming in May of like 2 years ago, which is insane to me. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of Brunch and Build, which is like, oh my god, I've been streaming for 2 years. I forget sometimes, considering, especially considering how scuffed my test stream was yesterday. I was like, this is very rough. You wouldn't think I'm someone who's been streaming for 2 years, but alas, you know. But I don't know, man. I like doing this. I like continuing to do it. I definitely plan on continuing this, and I really enjoy it. And thank you to everyone that's like been here. That's been here. I have been doing stuff. I've been living. I've been doing stuff. I was at the convention, funny enough. I didn't see obviously every convention has overpriced Gundam. I never buy Gundam from conventions because they're always too expensive. Like, without fail. Convention Gundam are always overpriced. I can guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, you can, unless it's like exclusive stuff, like P Bandai stuff that I can't get otherwise. I'm not buying regular kits from conventions. Like Anime NYC sometimes had that one year had Gundam Expo, in which they were selling a bunch, like the official P Bandai, like the official Bandai booth, just selling a bunch of like P Bandai stuff for market price because it's being sold by Bandai themselves. Like, that stuff I will buy from. But for the most part, like convention Gundam are from third-party sellers are almost always overpriced. Sometimes it's like a forgivable amount of overpriced, of like, it's just like $5 more than what market price would be, but some of these convention people are charging extortion prices, and I'm like, please don't buy. Come on. I see people buying from them, and I'm like, please don't be spending like $35 on a $20 high grade that you can buy for $20 on the internet. Come on. Because it's one thing if it's like, you know, rare kits and things like that. I know that's like a different zone. But like I know what's a contemporary kit. Like I know what you can find easily online and what you can't. And there's people out there that are like spending $35 on an IBO high grade, and I'm like, girl, you can buy that so easy elsewhere for cheaper. Please, don't do this to yourself. Yeah. For like Witcher Mercury, I see people charging like crazy for Witcher Mercury and IBO kits, because Witcher Mercury is currently like, you know, it's still mostly contemporary, and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, please. These are better than this. Than paying close to $40 for a kit that should be $25. But yeah, this is my word of advice. If you want to get into Gundam, don't buy kits at conventions. Or if you're new to it, don't buy kits at conventions unless it's being sold by like one. The internet is free if ever you see, because I do buy like figures at conventions sometimes, which also suffer from a similar deal of convention upcharging, of the convention upcharge. But like I will look at a figure at a convention and then I will look it up what the price is online, and I will compare to what this seller is selling it for versus like how much I would buy it, how easily I can find it online. Like, because if I go on eBay and I see like 50 listings for it that are $50 cheaper than what this person is selling it for, I'm not gonna buy it. Like, that's stupid. Why would I do that? People are out here selling prize figures for $45. Highway robbery. Another certified piece of Salem advice. Don't spend more than $35 on a prize figure. 35 is pretty high for a prize figure. If it doesn't have like whatever scale, 1/7 scale, whatever scale, don't spend more than $35 on it unless it's like a big one, if that makes sense. Because there's like a standard figure, like a standard like little like this big, like the size of a Gundam, I would say. Like if it's a figure that's like about the size of a master grade or something, like maybe even smaller. Like, yeah, I actually have my what's her name? My Sosai Shoujo girl here. Like, if she's this size, do not be paying more than $35 for her, because I can guarantee those prize figures are valued like $25. Most of my prize figures, I do not pay more than $30. But I know that sometimes I am willing to pay a little bit of upcharge, like basically for convenience. Because it's like, okay, if I can go to a convention and pay like basically what I would have paid in shipping, like if it's less than what I would have paid in like shipping and tax and sometimes overseas pricing, shipping price, I'm like, okay, I'll pay the extra $5 at the convention to do it. But for the most part, like, I am not paying more than $25-30 for a prize figure. At that point, that's highway robbery. Though there are some prize figures that are bigger and thus more expensive, like Pop-Up Parade L's, like large Pop-Up Parades, like those really big prize figures. I have paid like, I think the most I've ever paid for a prize figure was $70 for my Sakura Miku, but that's because she's big. That's because she's big. She's bigger than like your average prize figure. She's not a scale, but she's bigger than your average prize figure, so it makes sense that she costs a little more. And also, I bought it from Lunar Toy Store, so it's like I know I like Lunar Toy Store. I trust Lunar Toy Store with my life. The other thing, oh yeah, or the only other time I will buy Gundam at conventions is if it's from a seller that I know and I like Lunar Toy Store. I know and I like Lunar Toy Store, and so I will buy from them even at conventions, because I know their prices will always be like the same, if not close to market price. So I love you, Lunar Toy Store. But for the most part, like, I don't like buying a lot of the stuff at conventions, because they do charge. The convention tax is real. But sometimes it's fun. I do still buy figures at conventions. I do still buy some Gundam at conventions. Obviously, this convention I went to last week, I didn't buy anything like that because it's like, it's a small convention. There wasn't really any reason for me. Thus, I didn't. And thus I didn't. Ugh. What have I done? Oh, it's upside down. Stupid. Let's go this way. Okay. Wait. Okay. Did I put this wrong? Good thing I caught this before I did anything else. Good thing I caught this before I like really put you guys together. Come on. I feel like that's been happening a lot with this kit. Like, it's not necessarily the kit's fault, it's mostly my fault for like doing things wrong, but taking things on and off of this kit when you mess things up is quite difficult. Every time I've like made a little oopsie on this kit and I've had to like take a piece apart for it, I've been severely punished. It feels like I'm being severely punished because it's so hard to like take things on and off this kit because there's a lot of chunky pieces that have a lot of complex stuff on it, or they're big, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I've had kits where it's not too difficult to take things on and off, and I've had kits where it's absolute hell to get things on and off, and this is one where it's hell to get things on and off. Goes this way. Gosh, this piece comes off so. Meanwhile, this piece comes off. Touch it, and I'm like, at least until you put all the pieces together. I'm trying my best here to figure out what orientation this, because the illustrated guide does not do an excellent job of telling me. Because it's at an angle where I can't quite tell which orientation this is, and I'm like, I'm trying my best here. I am trying my best here. There we go. There we go. That's the other thing, is that sometimes I just don't what orientation these pieces are in. Oh, and then I do then I can do this. Oh my god. Okay. So we have all the players for starting his arms, because now it's like right arm, left arm. We have the bits needed, the shared bits, if you will, for Mr. Gouf's arm. I don't know why. It's like my allergies have really been getting me this week. There's not a single day this week that I didn't wake up exhausted, no matter how much sleep I got. Because I wake up and I'm sneezing and sniffly, like, from the jump. And I wake up exhausted. No matter what I do. Like, ugh. I have hate for pollen. Even right now, I've had my window open and my allergies are getting me. So, I honestly might cut the stream just like a few minutes early, which is, I know, something I don't really like doing. But I just feel like I think I'll chat for a few minutes, because I feel like this is a good stopping point for today for Mr. Gouf, because we basically finished. This is basically like arm preparation of like, these are all the shared arm bits, and then we will do like the individual right arm, left arm. And I think this is like a good point to be like, yep, I've done all the shared arm bits. Now after this I will do the individual arms. If that makes sense. I mean, you can see the instruction guide. I will build them out. So I just think this is a good point for like stopping for now. And so, I mean, I'll just be chatting, I'll just be hanging out, but there's also a chance I might cut it just a few minutes early. But, you know, I never finished talking about my orzo. I learned how to make, I learned what orzo is, which is, it's rice that is pasta. It is also pasta that is rice, which is kind of funky. It's pasta, but it's rice. It's pasta, but they're like little rice grains, and you make them, and it's pasta. But it's funky, but it's very good. And so I saw a recipe for an orzo dish on the internet, and I was like, I want to make that. That sounds really good. So I bought some orzo, and I made it. And I made creamy chicken gochujang orzo, which sounds crazy. Which sounds crazy, okay? But you have to trust me, it was really good. It came out really good. It was a one pot meal, very simple. I fry up the chicken and I cook the chicken and the aromatics like the onions, garlic, and and then I add the vegetables. I think the only vegetables I put were like tomatoes and spinach. The spinach I put a lot later because spinach cooks so fast. The onions, the garlic, tomatoes. Nice. Little box. That's a troubleshooting thing for me. I guess that's a thing to troubleshoot. Should? Maybe it's because no one's chatted. I haven't tested it out, but yeah. I'm gonna try doing like a test chat. Try doing test chat. See. Okay. It comes up. Excellent. We're gonna say that's fixed now. Test. Thank you for also testing. Yeah. Okay, excellent. They're coming up on the little chat box. It doesn't look crazy. Excellent. I don't know what happened to my chat box. I think I just accidentally like toggled something that makes messages disappear. But I turned on like keeping show messages all the time. So hopefully it's good now, I think. Yeah. I made creamy chicken gochujang orzo. And it was very, very good. If anyone's curious, I will send you the recipe because it was on YouTube. No, the original recipe is vegan. I felt a little bad because I unveganed the vegan recipe. Because originally it was a vegan recipe. But I just made it with chicken. And also using like real cream and not vegan cream. I used real cream. And it came out really good, okay? It came out really good. Yeah. I don't know, man. It sounds kind of crazy, but it was creamy chicken gochujang orzo. And it was very simple. I made it in one pot. I fried up my aromatics and my chicken, and I added the gochujang. And I let all of that stir, and then I added tomatoes. And then I added some vegetable broth, and I just let that simmer for like 20 minutes until a lot of the moisture was gone, and then I added cream and spinach, and yeah. And also like a little bit of salt, pep, oregano, basil. Yeah, one pot dishes are everything. I love one pot dishes because I'm lazy, but I still like cooking. I am very cheap. I avoid ordering out if possible, and because I've been trying to be more conscious of like what I'm eating and eating better, I don't buy like frozen pre-made foods anymore. I don't buy like frozen tendies and stuff like that. So to try and like push myself into like cooking more and things that are better for me. And so yeah, I love cooking, but also I hate doing dishes, which is so ironic. And also what happens is I live alone. I hate doing dishes. But I love cooking. So one pot meals, my beloved. One pot meals, my beloved. I just get one pot, I put everything in there, and I eat the food. It's great. It's why one of my go-tos is like fried rice. I love fried rice. Fried rice, meal of all time. Me and my homies love fried rice. There's so many good, plus because there's so many ways to make fried rice. kimchi fried rice is where it's at. Kimchi fried rice is my favorite because I love kimchi, but I also understand it's kind of an acquired taste. Um, as I've encountered more people that just like don't like kimchi, and then I think about it, I'm like, that's kind of fair. It's pickled cabbage. It's spicy and it's sour, and it's a flavor that takes some getting used to. But I love kimchi. I love kimchi. Um, one of like my college struggle meal was literally white rice and kimchi. When I was in college and I had nothing else, I would take white rice and I would take kimchi and I would just eat it. Um, I love you, fried rice. Why can't you have fried rice? Can you not obtain rice and fry it in Eastern Europe? Do they not have fried rice out there? That's so sad. I love fried rice. But yeah, I love my kimchi fried rice. It's very easy to make. And my secret to making fried rice that is always good and filling is I crack 2 eggs into it. I stir egg into there. Egg, what you make your fried rice, make the fried rice, and then once it's basically done cooking, you do everything, you make a little divot in the middle, you crack a couple of eggs in there, you stir it around so that it's like nice and mixed, and then you just like mix it in with the rice. The other thing is I don't let the egg cook like fully. I don't let the egg cook like fully, which I know some people are not into that. I'm very much into the runny egg. I'm very much into the runny egg. I'm okay with it being a touch raw. Like, I make cup ramen and I crack an egg directly into it. I crack an egg directly into it. Same thing with my fried rice. Of course I do it when the stove is still on, so I do like cook it. But I've freaked some people out before when I make like instant cup noodles and I just crack an egg directly into there. And I'm like, the water is still boiling. Like, trust me. Just trust me. And then it's like all nice and gooey and it's so good. Which I know sounds kind of gross, but like, trust me. I haven't found where the rice is in the store. Yeah, buying pounds of rice at once. Yeah, from when you make sure it doesn't scramble. That's it. You make sure it doesn't scramble. Because when it's still like kind of gooey and runny, it's like that's where it's at. And I love doing that with my fried rice. Honestly, I might make some kimchi fried rice soon. Now I feel like having it. Having kimchi fried rice. But that's an adventure for me of the later. And yeah. Wow, it's 1 o'clock. I can't believe I thought I was gonna cut it a few minutes early, and then I remembered how much I like talking. Yeah, that's my cooking tip for today. Don't be afraid of not fully cooking your egg, which I know it's a little because the thing is, American eggs, at least if you like go to your average grocery store, they're all pasteurized. All eggs are pasteurized. So you're like not actually going to get like E. coli or whatever. Like you will be fine. You will be fine. I know everyone's like, don't eat raw egg. And it's not like you eat the egg raw again. Like you cook it, you just undercook it a little bit, so it's still nice and it like makes everything so much richer. It's so good. I love cracking an egg directly into my cup ramen because it tastes better that way, and it's like nice and gooey, and you don't let it like fully cook. So it's still like very rich. And same thing with my fried rice. I crack a couple of eggs in there and I stir it around and I cook it just a little bit, but not so much that the egg hardens. And we're cooking. And yeah. Very quiet, hanging out with us. Straight from the cloaca. No! Don't say that. Don't say that. But I do love fresh eggs. I do like fresh eggs. But also, I like not getting coli. I do like my modern pasteurized eggs that let me eat them semi-raw. But yeah. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Very quiet. I'm sorry. I've just been kind of out of it because I want to try a jammy egg. It's when you leave it. It's yeah, jammy eggs are great. I love soy sauce eggs. I love tea eggs too. There's people that do hard-boiled eggs or soft-boiled eggs soaked in tea. I love soy sauce eggs. I love tea eggs. They're very tasty. I've seen the one where you like take the egg and you boil it, but then you just like crackle it on the outside. But then you like just press it so that it's like cracked on the outside, but you don't take off the shell yet, and then you soak it in tea or soy sauce. And so when you take off the shell, you see the crackle pattern on the boiled egg, and it looks really cool and it tastes very good. But it's kind of funky. I don't actually like hard-boiled eggs that much. I don't actually really like hard-boiled eggs. I don't know, man. I just don't like the taste of like a hard egg yolk. I don't like the taste of a hard egg yolk. My egg yolk has to be runny. I don't like hard egg yolk. I remember when I was a kid. Sometimes my mom, like when we're making, one of my favorite foods as a child was like egg and porota. Like a fried egg with porota, which is like a flatbread. And so I would just eat that. And sometimes my grandfather would overcook the egg in the sense that, because I prefer runny yolk, and he also prefers runny yolk. My grandfather and I, same wavelength. He prefers runny yolk, but my grandmother prefers solid yolk. And sometimes she would overcook the egg. Turmeric egg salad. That sounds really good. I would love to, because I do like egg salad. I would love to try your egg salad. I would love to try your egg salad, but otherwise, it's kind of fucked up. Oh shoot, I'm not supposed to say that. It's kind of messed up. I don't like hard egg yolk. Sophomore year of college, I had to do multiple nights in a row before all the eggs in our fridge went bad. Oh my god, I've been there. But yeah, my grandmother would overcook the egg yolk, and I didn't want to eat it when the egg yolk was hard, and she would just eat the egg yolk for me because she loves hard egg yolk. And so it was, I'm sorry, man. Over the egg discourse. I was getting heated over the egg discourse. I have so many feelings about eggs, but I am ultimately an egg enjoyer. But yeah, that is the note I feel like is good to end on, is the egg discourse. But at the end of the day, all eggs, good eggs. All eggs, good eggs. Everyone, don't forget to eat your eggs. They're a good source of protein and calcium, and they're good for you. Bye! No, I'm kidding. Only eggs made herself egg yolk. Yeah, it really does. She really kind of did just make herself the egg yolk, because she knew I don't like hard egg yolk. And sometimes I would like force myself to eat it, but sometimes she would just eat it for me, and I was like, thank you. But yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we are on YouTube now, and that's all good for our channel growth and everything like that. If you're not subscribed, please do. Don't forget to like the stream if you enjoyed it, and comment if you also enjoyed it, or copy the link. You know what they do. Hit the bell for notifications, the things that you do for YouTube. And yeah. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you eggs next week. Bye-bye!